So we are back again reacting to conversations UFC fans are not ready to hear. Let's get right into it. Starting off, we have got a photo of Max Holloway, Robert Whittaker. They'll both be gatekeepers of whatever division they wish to pursue. They'll never sniff a title shot ever again. Now look, I think this is probably true for Robert Whittaker. I don't think Whittaker will fight for a belt again. But Max Holloway is currently ranked number 5 in the lightweight division and realistically is one win off fighting for the undisputed title. And if you want to be dicky about it, I mean, the guy's the BMF champ, so he's still going to fight for a belt. But yeah, I think you're right about Robert Whittaker. It's a big climb for Robert Whittaker now to get back to being near a title shot after having his face fucking pulverized by Khamzat Chimaev. I think you're wrong on Max Holloway, but I think you're right on Robert Whittaker, unfortunately. Next up, we have got a photo of DC. He's the most underrated and overlooked legend in UFC and deserves so much credit, so much more love and credit. I agree. Personally, DC is in my top 5 of all time. A lot of people, when they talk about DC, is like, we didn't beat John Jones. We didn't beat John Jones. John Jones beat him. Yeah, John Jones was probably injecting about 17,000 needles up his ass before he fought DC. You've heard the MMA guru constantly go on about John Jones and his PED usage, especially in the second fight against DC, which was ruled to a no contest, by the way, for all the John Jones dick riders in the comments. 2-division world champion, multiple title defenses, knocked out Stipe inside a round, a stacked resume as well. Title defenses in multiple divisions. I think Daniel Cormier is easily top 5 in the UFC. And I do agree, the guy deserves more love. Next up, we've got a photo of Tom Aspinall. He mauls Jones and Stipe, and they both know it. Jones will forever keep ducking him. He can easily become the heavyweight GOAT. There's not a person at heavyweight or light heavyweight that beats him. I do believe he beats John Jones. I don't know if he mauls him, but I think he beats him. I do believe he mauls Stipe Miocic. I don't think we'll ever see Tom Aspinall versus either one of those guys, unfortunately. In fact, I feel like Stipe is more likely to fight Tom Aspinall than what John Jones is. Can he become the heavyweight GOAT? Yes, in terms of title defenses, but he won't have the resume of like a Stipe. He won't have the DCs on there. He won't have the Ngannou name on there. Just because there isn't that level of opponents currently in the heavyweight division. And that's unfortunate for Tom Aspinall. I don't think anybody at heavyweight beats him right now, and same with light heavyweight. I don't think anybody's looking to move up outside of Pereira, and Pereira doesn't beat him in my humble opinion. Next up, talking about Alex Pereira. He's going to retire soon. We're not going to see a talent like this in a very long time. If he started his UFC career sooner, he could have had a shot at being the light heavyweight GOAT. Nonetheless, he'd be the first 3-division champion. Is Pereira going to retire soon? Probably. He's getting up there in age. We won't see a run like Pereira has had in a very long time. Now, a lot of people are going to hate what I've said here, and he's obviously that talented to get to where he was, but he was fast-tracked to a title. Let's be honest. He beat Bruno Silva, was it, I believe, and then was given a title eliminator fight against Sean Strickland. He was fast-tracked to the title, but was clearly that talented to be in the position he's in, if that makes sense. That's probably why we won't see a run like this in a very long time. To be the light heavyweight GOAT, no, because if he started his career sooner, he would have ran into John Jones and DC, and both of those guys beat him, in my opinion. Even if he started his career earlier, he still wouldn't have became a 3-division world champion, in my opinion. I don't think he would have beat a prime Stipe. I don't think he would have beat DC at heavyweight or light heavyweight. Same with John Jones, in my opinion. Next up, we've got Ankalaev. His wrestling isn't as good as he claims. It is. He doesn't have a shot against Pereira. To say he doesn't have a shot against Pereira, I just don't agree with. Ankalaev can wrestle, but the fact that people feel like this guy's like a Khabib Nurmagomedov level wrestler when he isn't is a trap that I think a lot of people are falling into. I personally feel like he will lose to Pereira because his style is to box. He's a pressure fighter that throws a lot of punching combinations. His hands, that sounded so shitty, but he's a pressure fighter that predominantly boxes, And that will play right into Pereira's game. Plus, the fact he doesn't check leg kicks is going to be an issue for him in there against Pereira. The fact that he's a southpaw might help the leg kick problem a bit, but I feel like Pereira will just kick the inside of his leg. And we've seen him when Yuri switched to southpaw, he was able to use that lead leg kick as well, and it had a lot of effect. Also, I feel like he can beat Pereira. He's definitely the toughest test, him and Jan Blachowicz at light heavyweight, but I do feel like Pereira beats him. Next up, we have got Merab. He is on all the PEDs. It's not humanly possible to shoot 50 takedowns in a fight and not be the slightest bit tired. Who knows? I don't really comment on that. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people say he's on PEDs. I don't really know. Oliveira, his chances of becoming champ are slim. He won't be a champ at lightweight as long as Islam is champ. His best shot is at 170. Oliveira will never hold gold again in the UFC. He will never become lightweight champion, and his best shot isn't at 170. He's definitely not going to win at 170. He's not going to beat Bilal Muhammad up there. He's not going to beat a Leon Edwards. Who else is there in that division? That's fucking kind of it. I don't think he beats Usman. Usman is a bit past it though, so I don't know. But I don't think he would beat an Usman. Who else have you got? JDM. JDM Oliveira. What a fucking matchup that would be. Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to be champion again, to be honest. Next up, Conor McGregor is top 3 all time as far as entertainment goes. Let's just rephrase that. He's not top 3. Well, he is top 3, but he's not 3, he's not 2, he's 1. As an actual fighter in his career, he's somewhere in the top 20. I don't think McGregor's top 10. Do I? I would need to think about that, but in terms of being an entertainer, he's the most entertaining fighter we've ever seen, and no one comes close. Next up, Khabib Nurmagomedov. He has the most padded career in UFC history. Everything Conor said about him is true. His title defenses don't hold much weight at all. If he fought Islam, he would lose. Right, padded record, yes, I agree. Everything he said, Conor said about him, a lot of personal stuff was said. Let's just skip that. Plus, I don't really know what he means by that. Conor said a lot of shit in there to Khabib. His title defenses don't hold much weight. I mean, he did beat the McGregor one. We have to remember McGregor was coming off a long layoff after the Mayweather fight. He beat Justin Gaethje, great win, and he beat Dustin Poirier, great win. If he fought Islam, he would lose. I mean, we've heard Islam talk about his training sessions with Khabib where he said Khabib got the upper hand of him. So, although I think Islam is a better fighter. Next up, Michael Chandler was never ever good. His lack of fight IQ and IQ as a whole is just an excuse for fighting for the fans. He wasted his career waiting for Conor, and I'm glad. Did he waste his UFC career waiting for Conor? No, yes. If he had got the McGregor fight, no, because he would have made so much money off that fight. But the fact that he waited that long and then took a fight against Oliveira, fucking pointless. Michael Chandler's skill set, if he had fight IQ, would be a danger for everybody in the division. The guy can wrestle, the guy can punch, and the guy can really punch. Actually, he's got crazy power in his hands. His fight IQ is a big issue though. His IQ as a whole is just an excuse for fighting for the fans. I think this is the last one. Finally, if there ever is a Chris Benoit situation in the UFC, it's gonna be at the hands of this man. Right, okay. Yeah, so let me know your opinions on all these conversations or opinions or hot takes, whatever you want to call them, in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you again in the next one.